Chapter 4, Battle for Sugut. After the great victory on the Central Way, the only enemy forces left are those of Capulia in Sugut. Realizing that he is at a disadvantage, he has fortified the defences at the castle and holed up there. Yugi's forces are having difficulty breaking the defences. Will they be able to take Sugut and free the island? Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit and in the green. Welcome back to YuGiOh the Falsebound Kingdom. We had a pretty easy win last time, and our teams are coming along very nicely. We have some pretty solid monsters along the way. And we also wound up getting Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, number 1. So, let's check out its stats. It will, of course, start fairly basic. Actually... Wait, it comes in at level 8? I thought it came in at level 1. Okay. So, it does attack with a fireball, as I said. Okay, so what's its compatibility orb? So it's a sort of bluish colour. Like, it's not bad, certainly, but what would I chip in to replace it with? Because we've actually got some pretty solid teams for now. Like, probably the only thing I can think of replacing is Silverfang. Well, let's see what would happen if I replaced Silverfang with it. Not a lot. But then again, it is at a slightly higher level, but... Well, I'll give it that, but to be honest, I like having Silverfang on the team. I can always stick it in someone else's team, just at the moment it's not... How would it go on Yugi's team? Same as before. But then again, I suppose we're not losing too much. Though Yugi's team is almost a little problematic because it doesn't have a huge amount of action points. I probably need to get some more experience into Yugi. I will stick with the Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, because it's one of his iconic monsters from early on. Tristan's got a pretty solid team coming together, even if they're not fantastic in terms of action points. Fistus has a very solid team. Shimon's Knight Adept team is really good, if a little specialised. Oh, it's got Wasteland Adept. See, this is what I mean by monsters will eventually learn new abilities. So if there's Wasteland terrain, Shadow Spectre will get a power up there. So they're both Field Adept, Road Adept and Forest Adept. So there's really no preparation to do for this. We don't actually get any new monsters out on the field. Let's plow on ahead, basically. We'll have some new items to find along the way too. We should thoroughly search everywhere.
It's very well defended.
Yeah, unless we do something, we're just going to continue to sustain damage. There's got to be something else we can try.
Perhaps there is. Let's free all of the surrounding villages and towns and strengthen our own position.
Rightio, so we can't afford to lose Telenos. Now, we want equipment. Oh, wait, maybe we need an anti-ground cannon. So, we've got 2 teams coming at us. I want Yugi in charge. What have we got coming at us? Slot Machine and... what's the other one? Dark Elf. Alright, we're not going to have that particular cannon ready. So let's get the barricade. and let's get ready to fight. This gets to be a pretty tough battle later on. But those monsters aren't particularly strong, all things considered. Did I build the cannons in time? We will see what happens. So we probably want to knock down the weaker monsters first, because Slot Machine is strong, but it doesn't do very much. Now, they don't have any items, do they? So this is probably our first time facing machines. Slot Machine comes in pretty handy because while its stats are pretty crap for a level 7 monster in the game, as you can see, it's bulky and it's fairly strong. But it doesn't gain AP easily, so that is often a trade-off of monsters with higher overall stats. They won't always gain AP as fast, and you'll have to rely on compatibility. Wow, I mean, look at that. We'll probably have you attack Zaragon, and then I'll have Winged Dragon finish off Phantom D1. It's interesting to note that the 7 completed card was pretty much developed for this. It seems very strongly connected with it in the manga. Alright, let's blast Phantom D1 with a chain of fireballs. Phantom D1, more like Phantom D gone. I make no apologies. Alright, man, Zaragon's nearly toast. So yeah, having those equip items is phenomenal, and you'll get better ones. We will wind up getting better ones later on. I mean, this team has gone really, really well. I probably should send somebody out to try and counter this team, just so that we don't wind up triggering the cannon and wasting it on wiping out this team. Because that can happen. We've only got one monster to go. I'll send out Fizdus to take care of this team, because Yugi will handle the next opponent coming in just fine. Got to make some very quick movements. Okay. We won't. Fizdus to intercept that team. Good. So now, if I've got the timing right, Dark Elf will take down... will get taken down by the cannons. And now, as you can see, Field Adept is coming into play for Silverfang. They've done a pretty good job creating all the different environments along the way, and I do like the fact that, at the very least, the shadows and the like will wind up changing depending on the time of day. Okay, good hit from that. It's slow, and it's getting penguined. Taken down from the word go. Oh, and a critical. Sorry, buddy. Looks like your slot machine wasn't a winner. Seriously, it's okay to have a fun little flutter every now and then, but gambling, don't get into it. It's just going to ruin things. Nice work. Damn it, we're just not... If I'm right, we're probably going to wind up having the guns open fire and take out... Oh, wait, what I should do is retreat. Hold back, push them back, and then, due to sneaky underhanded tactics, that should give the guns a little bit of time. Unscrupulous? Yes. Practical? Hell yeah. Let's get that healer in. And then after this, we can find out what items we have. We'll have to slowly make our way through the defenses of Sugus. We'll be able to pick up some monsters in the next mission at least. So, as you can see, much easier to deal with, and we'll be able to wind up getting more experience for winning outright. Sometimes you have to retreat to win, which is a line from one of my favourite episodes of the Pokemon anime. It's probably been used a fair bit, but basically, in order to defeat Sabrina, Ash and friends have to retreat for a little bit and gain the ghost types, which were supposed to defeat Sabrina. But the problem was, in the actual games, ghost types didn't affect psychic types. That was not the psychic type's fault, that was Game Freak's fault. Because in the anime, it's very clear that ghost types are super effective against psychic. Or at least they would be if Haunter wasn't messing around a lot of the time. And there we are, Yugi's stats have improved! So, at certain points, Marshals will gain improvements to their stats which boost the power of compatible monsters. Very nice. Now, let's take a look at the bases. We have this guy and that guy. Tristan, head out to Rowarol. Rauru. I can't. Rowaral. I can't pronounce it. Rowaral, or however you pronounce it. I'm pronouncing it Rauru. It's officially Rauru, which is kind of cool. I should sort of divert onto that a little bit because the towns of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link generally inspired the names of the sages. You had the town of Darunia, town of Saria. I think there was a town of Naburu. There wasn't a town of Ruto. There was a town of Mido, though he didn't wind up becoming a sage. Now, we might have... Yes! We actually have defensive systems. We'll get to those in due time. Because right now, Tristan has some fighting to do. We can also see Judge Man. This team will have high HP, but it will be slow. So, do they have healers? No, they do not. However, fairly low AP. Now, note that Water Girl is counted as a spellcaster monster. She is an aqua monster in the games. If you wind up facing a spellcaster monster and you have a monster with Black Pendant, you will tear through them. You will dish out criticals each time. So plan it out, bring some good moves, and you'll do a lot of damage. You will also be able to do extra damage to Darklands monsters if you wind up bringing the Enchanted Javelin and put it on Spirit monsters, like our Giant Soldier of Stone over there. So unfortunately, Giant Soldier of Stone isn't doing huge amounts of damage. We'll have to just keep chipping away, wait for Water Girl to lower her guard, and then we can dish out a lot of damage. Patience is pretty much the watchword. Alright, now, Water Tornado is the name of her attack, though according to her card text, she attacks with Ice Spikes. Oh no! Bubble Beam! Oh, it's just like fighting Misty's gym all over again. Now, I don't think the Giant Soldier of Stone would do enough damage to take Water Girl out of the equation. Ooh, I bite my tongue! Giant Soldier of Stone! Absolutely, dare I say it, rocking it! Ha ha! Ah! Alright. Judge Man is in the club, but unfortunately that doesn't go over very well. And one opponent down. Probably gonna need to heal Gazelle, but that's okay. So, upper hand in this battle. Getting into a pretty strong position. Nice, Mystic Horseman's doing well. So we'll press on and go again. Shimon's team will arrive a little bit later. We should secure this position pretty easily. Then we can scurry down the map. We'll take a little bit of time after all this is done to find out what we can buy. Probably want a healer and a trader. Gazelle's going to take out Slot Machine. That critical really ripped through. So, I want to maximize my damage. Giant Soldier of Stone is not going to be fast. That is kind of understandable. Surprisingly faster than those two. It's also worth noting we probably shouldn't necessarily stock up too much on legendary swords. Because eventually we will wind up getting a much better item. The Silver Bow and Arrow. Now the Silver Bow and Arrow, I think in the game it actually increased the attack of fairy types. In this game it actually works for spirits and warriors. And on top of that, it makes sure that the attacks always hit. It's phenomenal. You combine that with Enchanted Javelin, and all of a sudden you just rip through Darklands monsters. Okay, so we're not going to take out Judgment. We have Red Medicine, and I'll use that to top up Gazelle. Because unfortunately, one blow from Judgment would bring down the gavel. It is worth noting that in England, and usually in Australia, judges don't use gavels. That's an American thing. Auctioneers use gavels in the UK, which I mostly know from watching Bargain Hunt. But, as it happens, judges do not. Alright, third time's the charm. Let's just get this out of the way. Court is adjourned. And there we are. Should be ready for another battle. Tristan's team is doing nicely. Holding up pretty well, all things considered. So, more goodies from Rauru, and we'll move down here. Shimon is very slowly getting there. Well, I suppose it's a skeleton. It doesn't really have much in the way of movement, because you don't have any muscles and things like that. Like, seriously, the fact that it can actually walk is probably something to do with magic. Now, let's demonstrate something. This is a spellcaster, as you can see by the 6-point star on the purple background. The fangs on orange beasts and the birdfoot dragons. Yes, I know it's meant to be a dragon foot or dinosaur foot. From us, Darkland, Dragon. Now, let's give that Violet Crystal a go. Oh shoot, it works on all of them. That was dumb. Okay, so... Right, so it boosts the attack and action points of Night Adept monsters. As you can see, our attack has skyrocketed, but so is the enemies. What a dingus. Looks like we're going to have to take out that Blackland Fire Dragon. So yeah, be very careful. Don't be an idiot. Alright, Illusionist Faceless Mage. This was used by Pegasus fairly early on. Alright, let's see. It's not super strong. Now, with Black Pendant equipped, automatic criticals. You will do massive damage. So make sure you're packing those black pendants because you can rip opponents to shreds. I probably do want to concentrate all my fire on that Blackland Fire Dragon. Because we can take out Illusionist Faceless Mage anytime. Alright, so it's guarded. Perplex Hex is going to do a bit of damage. Not much, but every bit of damage adds up. We have to be fairly careful because I made it such a boneheaded play. Not the smartest thing I've ever done. Let's put the heat on that. At least our attacks can't miss. So I'll start picking on Silver Fang, and then I can have Shadow Spectre take out Illusionist, Faceless, Mage. I might have planned this one out slightly stupidly. Right. Probably should have gone for Blackland Fire Dragon, but yeah, we've got one out of the way. So yeah, that was not the smartest thing I've ever done. Should have paid attention. Mind you, they don't always pick their targets very well. Ooh. If I take out Silverfang, there we are. Now I can heal the team as needed. And we should, in spite of my boneheaded play, be able to win this fight. There we go. So, it's a good plan, just be careful about how you use it. There we are. There we are. Pretty strong. Going pretty well, all things considered. If I do get a better Knight Adept monster, I might stick it on Shimon's team. He's packing the Knight moves. So... Yugi! That's you, Yugi, isn't it?
Bakura! You're okay! Not that I really care, I mean, it is Bakura. First I get stuck with Bakura and Tristan. Why does this happen to me? Why couldn't I have at least had Taya?
Yugi, are you alright?
Yes, of course I'm alright. Are you alright?
I'm barely alright. Where is everyone else?
Tristan's already here, but I don't know where the others are.
I see. Well, I'm glad that we found each other. You're attacking the provincial capital of Sugut, right? I think I can help you out.
How so?
You can't march an army through it, but there is a hole in Sugut's defences. Leave it to me. I'll confuse the guards and destroy their defensive equipment. If you just hang in there for one more day, you will see a fire in the castle. That means the cannons will be out of action, giving you the chance you need to storm the castle. I'll get on it right away. See you in Sugut.
Bakura, wait! I hope he's alright. Well, I sort of have to say that, really.
Okay, let's get our healer. And let's check for our traders. What are we going to get here? So, Monster Reborn, Magic Jammer. Robs all enemies of their special powers. I think that inflicts confusion, which means they can only attack. Power of Nature, we might want to buy a few of these. So if we have spirit monsters on our team, their action points and attack will go up, but don't do stupid things like I did. So that's not too bad. Let's have Fizdus move up here. Now we can build our healer here. And then the trader will give us Book of Secret Arts, Black Pendant, and Dark Energy. I'll buy a few of these. And now they get cheaper. Alright, I'm not going to worry about Dark Energy. Let's check our stats and then we can wait for a little bit. So Tristan's team will heal very quickly. Let's get moving. Since I have a bit of time, I might as well share some information about the other card which came with this game in the North American version, Goblin Fan. It did actually make its international debut with this game and also appeared in Legendary Collection Yugi's World. In Japan, it debuted with the game we know as Dark Duel Stories, which was called Tri-Holy God Advent over there, though I don't think it actually featured the Egyptian gods. Goblin Fan itself is probably not the most practical trap card out there in all fairness. It can be pretty useful against the right deck, but your opponent has to be running those low-level monsters which need to be flip summoned in the first place, and it's a little over-specialised, especially since it doesn't actually do anything if a monster is attacked while face down. That doesn't count as a flip summon. Like Metal Zoa, this card really isn't worth using. It's much more of a curiosity than anything else. Interestingly, its Japanese name is Tengu Fan. You might recognise that fan as looking something like Shiftry's hands from the Pokemon series, because Shiftry is of course based on a Tengu. Fairy King Truesdale actually made its international debut in different ways based on region. In Europe, except Spain, it actually came with this game, so I would have got this card actually, since Australia shared the same version as Europe. In Japan it debuted as a promo for Duelists of the Roses, and I have no idea what was wrong with this monster's Japanese name. It's a Shakespeare reference, specifically A Midsummer Night's Dream, as it is Oberon, King of the Fairies. Admittedly, this card isn't the most practical, as even with its effect active, it probably won't survive a solid blow from most powerful monsters. However, it might just let your other plants pack potent punches. Though in all fairness, if you're looking for very strong plant-type monsters, the 4 Plant Princesses and countless other cards from around the Synchro era will do better jobs these days. Still a nice curiosity and good art though.
And there's a massive explosion. I told you, Pyromania is a requisite to be in this resistance. Nice work, Bakura. You actually did something competent for once. I'm not very impressed with you very often, but let's be honest, I'm impressed now. This was our best shot. Advance on the castle now.
Alrighty. So let's have Tristan march on Cthulhu, and we've got a resurrected soldier. So, what we'll do is after from Guoshin, I'll have to have Yugi meet him there. Shimon, if you would be so kind. Okay, so they're both heading out here. Alright, so we've got our strategy. Yep, didn't really need too much from there. We'll give ourselves a barricade, and these teams will, as you can see, close in on Yugi. If I hang around and wait until nighttime, then I can have Shimon utterly ream the boss with his Night Adept monsters. Because Capulia doesn't have any Night Adept monsters. Oh, and by the way, I've got 2 monsters with the Night Adept. 2 monsters with Violet Crystal, so that could be very handy. We will give ourselves massive power buffs. And conveniently, this guy actually gets to have 2 of the same monster for whatever reason, which is kind of cheating. So, high HP, fairly bulky but not always super strong. Oh, thank you! Let's check out their stats. So they're fairly strong. This is going to take a fair bit of chip damage. But certain monsters can get attacks which allow them to power up against dragons, and I believe there are actually equip items for warriors which let them deal advantageous damage against dragons. So you'll want some of those on your team. Alright, so Megazala, Urubi. I've at least got healing options. What items? It's just got red medicine. That's okay. There we are, actually hit the mark. Very nice. So I'll probably want Gazelle to take that out. Yeah, I can imagine that Megazala's ramming attacks hurt significantly. Are they just constantly picking on Gazelle? There we are. So, that's out of the way. Now I'd better heal Gazelle. Some of these monsters can be strong enough to take ours down if they're a bit fragile in terms of HP. We will, of course, have to be careful, but I think we're getting the upper hand on this fight. I've got Shimon defending home base if needed. Why would it just guard? Weird. Anyway, we didn't do too badly out of that fight. But we've got plenty of enemies coming in hot. Might need to make sure you don't collide with any of those. No, you are well out of the way. This is going to go fine. We should slowly chip these down. I don't know how much damage I'm going to do all told. With Urubi out of the way, the two Megazalas aren't going to be that irritating. They have a lot of HP, so they'll soak up attacks pretty well. As a matter of fact, the discrepancy between HP and attack power can be a bit problematic sometimes. Because defense only really comes into it when you're actually guarding. And I usually just go on the offensive. We've nearly knocked one of them out, and they really do not like Gazelle. Yeah, we probably aren't going to win this fight this round, but that means more experience in the long run for Tristan. So I want to maximize my damage, as I said, try and attack the other one, and then... There we are, we can concentrate all our fire on the other one next time. Man, they've really, really got it in for Gazelle. Did Gazelle pee in their cornflakes or something? Seriously? They've obviously decided that Gazelle is our strongest monster, and they are going, come hell or high water, to KO Gazelle. Now, if I'm correct, we should be able to use certain items on the field. Now... Yes! And Yugi is battling again. Yugi will hold off these two teams, and then we can have Fizdus and Shimon move forward. Alright, so we might be able to knock out our Jawa impersonator in a single blow. I might have mentioned it before, but teams that are revived come back with half HP. And since the enemy doesn't actually use any structures and things like that, it's a bit of a problem for them. Their teams are ripe for the picking. If they have certain items, they'll generally use them though. So you want to be able to take them out very quickly. Some enemies will be able to fuse certain monsters. Of course, we will gain the ability to do that too, but that comes much later on. Sometimes, as you've seen, fusion monsters will be treated as normal monsters in the context of this game. And there's even a case where some monsters that aren't fusion monsters become fusion monsters. There we are. Slot machines and beavers. Oh no, it's Donkey Kong 64 all over again. Ah, I hated the slot machines. The beavers were even worse, but the slot machines were janky too. Oh, I spent 20 minutes trying to get one of them sorted out. That sucked. That sucked so much. Anyway, Yugi getting a good team. Where is Shimon going anyway? So, Shimon is here. Fizdus cut down this way. And we'll be able to take this team out pretty easily. Having the barricade up improves your power even further, so you get a really big advantage. Should be able to knock out Cyber Commander in a single blow. It is interesting to note that for the most part, monsters tend to have their uncensored versions. This is true of monsters like Enchanting Mermaid. I don't know why I'm necessarily bringing that up, but it's just an interesting point that they didn't really change a heck of a lot. They just sort of kept it fairly true to the Japanese version, which is probably why we have so many monsters that hadn't appeared. I mean, what's her defense? We should be able to break through pretty easily, because while guarding can make attacks more likely to miss, dragon monsters equipped with Dragonic Attack won't miss. And finishing blow from a beaver. There we go. Pretty smooth sailing. Getting some very powerful teams and very powerful marshals. The stats are coming along quite nicely. I think those sort out their base stats. So, we've got even more people coming. Alright, so... Shimon, you want to hold position? Fizdus, don't take that castle yet. Tristan, you'd actually better finish off taking that base. Might as well put some mileage into Yugi, because I want Yugi to... Actually, let's wait until they're well clear of this base before I wind up sending Tristan in. Because if they're clear of this base, then they should be pretty committed to the bit. So they'll press on. They shouldn't wind up diverting. Tristan can take Thujan. If they do wind up diverting, it's really, really weird. And there we are. Made him wait a bit, but we will take care of this. It is getting towards night time, which will mean that Shimon's team is going to get even better and even more dangerous. I do have to admit, they did some gorgeous work with the lighting in this game. It does look really impressive. And the fact that you've actually got proper shadows and they respond. Like, they actually move as you would expect shadows to move. I think I'll have to wait for a bit. Wait for it to attack again. Because I don't think we'd have been able to break through its defense. And it whiffed. But yeah, you don't see a lot of really good working game shadows like that. They're often not that fancy. Even though this is a GameCube game, it's actually got a damn good lighting engine. They obviously did something right with that, and the fact that it's all affected by the time of day. That, on its own, is pretty good. Oh, nice! Mystic Horseman got another AP. Monsters will get extra AP at certain points. It will vary a bit along the way. Okay, so they're not changing their destination. I'll wait until Yugi's defeated them before I have them move on. Now, Fizdus will hold this base pretty well. She probably needs a bit more experience. I could have had her defending this one. Bit unfortunate, but I'll have her put in the work in the next one. Because I want Yugi at a really good level, because we actually have a wild monster team we can battle in the next one. We are hale and hearty, though. Despite her best efforts, she's not going to do very much. It is worth noting that machines can be incredibly devastating if you use the right equipment. Let's have you start to take on Cannon Soldier, then not Cannon Soldier. You don't get Cannon Soldier in this game. Slot Machine. Why did I say Cannon Soldier? I'm getting a bit tired. 4 HP left. It's like being in Pokemon when you very nearly level up. You look at your stats and it's like you've got 1 or 2 experience left. That always sucks so much. It's not a big problem in the great scheme of things. It's just really, really annoying. Well, not really, really annoying. It's just... It's annoying, but it's not truly problematic. Let's put it that way. Anyway, let's wait for Judge Man to do something stupid. He misses. And there we are. This mission is a real bonanza for experience. But I mean, like what I was saying earlier, just look at the effects on the shadows. Like, that is super detailed stuff. That's actually a really good lighting engine, and a lot of games don't always have that. I appreciate that as a little touch so much. I mean, it's a little odd compared to like the fact that Celtic Guardian's cape doesn't really flow that well. It's just sort of a solid lump. Alright. Fizdus should fare pretty well. I have a lot of faith in Fizdus' team. So not huge amounts of AP. One enemy has guarded right off the bat. What are we looking at? No special abilities. Let's start targeting that Wing Eagle because it is probably the strongest monster on the team. Wing Eagle will usually be a complete pain in the AI's hands. It will be pretty good when you get your hands on it, but oh boy is it a nuisance. We'll get a proper introduction to it later on though. Fortunately, we have a penguin on our side with its great spin attack. Man, that penguin puts in work. Over time, we will get better and stronger abilities. Some monsters won't get any new abilities, some monsters will get the ability to do something with their attacks. It all depends, really, and you just have to pay attention over time. And there we go. Which one do we pick on? Probably this one. Already doing major damage. Not helpful. It's kind of a strange feeling when you realize that Penguin Soldier is probably one of the most efficient monsters on your team. I suppose because I stacked all those equip items on it. I was just pumping your tires up! Way to make me look stupid. 8 HP. God damn it. Oh, that's bothersome. That's really annoying. I was... Two quick misses and... Yeesh. Fizdus has got pretty good experience, at least. Well, we'll be able to get just that little bit more. Dish out the damage. And then we'll be able to see what's here, and we'll have to check what's up where Tristan is. Alright, let's teach him a lesson. Yeah, it's just really, really detailed. I really appreciate that. I'll probably have Fizdus go in and... Well, I'll have Shimon go in and do some damage, then I'll have Fizdus finish things off if needed. But we are starting to get to the point where we can take bosses fairly easily. I mean, we've got some incredibly well-trained monsters for this point in the story. And exploiting the strategies at the start gives us a very dependable team. Now, it should be Illusionist, Faceless, Mage next. Man, they really do not like Winged Dragon. They're really, really grumpy about it. What's got them so fed up with that? But there we go. Blackland Fire Dragon goes down in flames. And Illusionist Faceless Mage will follow suit. Whoops. Press the wrong button. Oh, come on! Ow! Well, I suppose it is the golden rule of RPG. So long as you have 1 HP out of heaven knows how many, you could have 5 million HP, be reduced to 1, and you will be ready for action. You'll be fine. It's only when you hit 0 that you spontaneously explode. Alright, so that's done. Fizdus is ready to get this done. Jeez. Well, that took less time than expected. And a bit more experience for Fizdus' team, and nothing really much for Hornimp. Odd. Oh well, we've done a pretty good job. Now let's get our traders. What do we get here? Ah, Enchanted Javelin. Snake Fang exposes 1 enemy to poison. We don't really want that. We want a few of these. Grab a few of those. It's not very powerful, but it does the job. And up where Tristan is, what do we get? Mage Power, Dragonic Fury, and Sword of Dragon Soul. That's what I'm looking for. Mage Power basically boosts the attack and confuses spellcaster monsters. Dragonic Fury is basically the same, but for dragons, and it's not magic. We want lots of Sword of Dragon Soul. That should do for now. Alright, and it is time for Shimon to shine. We'll see if anybody else actually turns up. Now we want equipment. Now, I'll put Shimon near the base and we'll see if any more grunts wind up turning up, because I want Fizdus to at least have one more battle. Unfortunately, there's a bit of dead air. I started mucking around with repeated battles because the enemies respawn very quickly. So I'm going to move on to a couple more promos that came with this game. Cipher Soldier is one of them. This monster made its international and Japanese debuts in the same way as Fairy King Truesdale. In America, these two actually debuted with World Championship Edition 2004, which was on the Game Boy Advance. Cipher Soldier is also known as Kinetic Soldier. This highly specialised monster is designed to hunt down warriors, and that's it. This might be handy if you bring the DNA surgery trap card into play, but other than that, it's not going to be doing a great deal if there aren't any warriors hanging around. It does have reasonable stats for a monster of its level though, so that's something. In its championship pack release, it was accidentally printed as a light monster. Earth is its intended attribute because it has been an Earth monster in every other appearance. So it's kind of a curiosity, but not too fantastic in all fairness. Slate Warrior made its international and Japanese debuts in the same way as Fairy King Truesdale and Cipher Soldier. However, Slate Warrior's versatility has given it more appearances overall. While using Slate Warrior's flip effect can be a bit of a nuisance given it won't survive very many attacks if it's in defense, if you pull it off this monster will be a very capable force. It's still good even as a general beatstick if normal summoned, and it lowers the attack and defense of any monster which destroys it in battle. Not a bad deal at all honestly, you will get a fair bit out of this one. Its Japanese name, interestingly enough, can mean either nipple or a phonetic version of newt. As to whether it did get turned into a newt, we don't know, we can only surmise that if it did, it got better. It certainly lives up to the nipple part given that it has fairly prominent pectorals with sigils placed roughly where you'd expect human nipples to be. A little odd, but still a fairly capable monster. Its body is actually shown to rotate in games with 3D models of it. And now for the oddball in the group, Sinister Serpent. This monster made its US debut with Stairway to the Destined Duel. In Europe, except Spain, it came with World Championship Edition 2004. In Spain, it came with this game. In Japan, it debuted with Tri-Holy God Advent, which we know as Dark Duel Stories. It's appeared a few times along the way. Sinister Serpent's effect has been changed over time since in its original form it made any effect which required a card to be discarded costless. It would bounce back to the hand and be ready to go again. Nowadays, if it returns, a copy must be banished from the graveyard during the opponent's next end phase, so you can't overuse it. This highly useful card was actually the first reptile-type monster to hit the Forbidden list. That ability was just way too practical. Interestingly, its Japanese name translates as Killer Snake, but it is implied to be based on the Tsuchinoko, much like Dunsparce is.
Fantastic, he's losing ground to a dinosaur. Oh, you know what? I've probably stuffed around a little too much in this mission. Let's just battle the boss. Can't believe it. How on earth... I'll build this just in case. Can't believe the zombie warrior was slower than a dinosaur.
Traitors! You won't take me alone, you treasonous dogs!
You know what? We might as well just finish this now. I've stuffed around way too much. But I've got good experience out of it all. So my Knight Adept team is ready to rumble. Annoyingly, they all get to move first. Apart from Battle Ox. This time, we're the only ones getting a boost. I thought this through. Let's... Well, that's only going to power up then. Let's smack that mountain warrior around. And it's a critical! Taken down from the word go! That was impressive. Let's start blitzing Axe Raider. Let's see what happens next. I probably could have healed. It's only got blue medicine, dang it.
Oh well, we'll fix that. Should hold on for one more attack. Let's buff ourselves even more. Let's take it very cautiously. I want to spend a bit of time powering up and then we can really rip through things. You know what? Let's go Violet Crystal again. I think they do wind up regenerating at the end of each chapter. Oh, we are running well on attack now. Let's tear into him. This is almost unfair. This is almost unfair. You should not be allowed to do this. But you are. And it's hilarious. And it makes up for everything being so horrible. I mean, look at that. Capulia's got no chance. This team is amazing. If I get another Knight Adept monster that's got better stats, I will replace Shadow Spectre, but boy, this is going well. This is just fighting dirty, and I am all for it. And there we go. Oh, you never had a chance, Capulia. I've been stuffing around with you the entire time. Torn to pieces. And there we go. Blackland Fire Dragon got another AP. Not bad. Not bad at all. That was so dumb. And Sugod is liberated, and there's one random dude with a dinosaur wandering around. I should have known you wouldn't need my help, Yugi.
Nonsense! If you hadn't confused the enemy first, our attack wouldn't have gone so smoothly. Thanks.
Well, good. I'm glad that I was able to help a bit. I'd like to stay with you from here on out. Is that okay with you?
Sure, I'm happy to have you.
You kind of look like you were forcing those words out, Yugi.
Shut up, Bakura.
Anyway, we have freed Vaxi Island. The missions have gone pretty smoothly, but next time we will be moving on to the mainland with an ocean crossing. And a lot of aqua-based movement, which is a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, with all that done, apologies for the delays, but thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.